Last week on the Results Driven Fitness Show.
The Super U program. Strength. If you have up to 3 hours a week to exercise, it should be focused on total body resistance training. And that's exactly what you get in small group training.
Welcome back, everybody on the internet. We are happy to have you back at Results Driven Fitness for the Results Driven Fitness Show. We're talking all things training and nutrition and just general stuff to make you more awesome. Last week we talked about exercise. This week we're building the perfect shake.
We're also going to talk about exercise frequency, really just how often should you work out to make progress.
This month's theme is surging. Let's get into it.
What's up, Surge?
In the Results Driven Fitness Show, each month we are going to choose a theme that reflects what's going on here at Results Driven and what we think is happening in the fitness industry at large. February for us means surging. In the last episode, we talked about what that means for our members. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how protein shakes can help you meet your performance or body composition goal.
Protein shakes can create a side door into fitness. Our whole system is based around education and then small, slow, steady changes. The cool thing with protein shakes is it helps kill two birds with one stone. So, read that. What I mean by that is it helps us address eating every 2 to 4 hours. So if you typically have, say, 3 meals a day and we add in 2 protein shakes, it helps bridge the larger gaps between meals. It's also going to help us get closer to the habit of eating protein with every meal. So with one simple change, you can potentially check off 2 habits.
The first thing we want you to do when you're building a protein shake is choose your protein. Now, we're not talking about putting chicken in the blender because that would be gross. But we are talking about choosing some kind of protein that works well with your body. Here at Results Driven, we have our whey-based protein and we have a plant-based protein to offer to our members.
So whey protein versus plant-based protein, which one's right for you? It really comes down to first just realizing that you shouldn't really notice the protein you're taking. If you are using a protein and you don't feel any different, you win. If you're using a protein and you feel bloated or you have stomach discomfort, then it's just not the right type for you. So number 1, do you even notice it? Number 2, make sure there's minimal ingredients. Most of the typical supplement shops, or if you buy a protein at a drugstore, it's just gonna have a laundry list of ingredients. It's not necessary. So choose from a brand that has good quality testing and has minimal ingredients.
Now that you've chosen your protein powder, let's put some super tasty stuff in it. The first thing we're gonna recommend is some kind of berry. Berries are a little lower on the glycemic index, so they're not gonna spike your blood sugar like other fruits, such as bananas or pineapple. Stick to your blueberries, strawberries. They make an awesome berry blend that is very tasty. And try to pair those berries with the kind of protein that you choose. So I'm like a chocolate kind of guy, so I like my chocolate and blueberries combo. My mother is a vanilla and strawberries kind of gal. Just find the combo that works for you and try to avoid those high sugar fruits like bananas or pineapple.
Is this shake gonna be for an anytime meal or a post-workout meal? An anytime meal is just that. It's a meal you're gonna have anytime except for after a workout. If your goal is fat loss, typically we want the carbs to be lower in that meal. So now would be the time to add a fat. Things like coconut oil, peanut butter or other nut butters, flaxseed or chia seeds, and even things like MCT oil would be a great addition to your shake.
If this is going to be a post-workout shake, now we want to add your starches. So pumpkin, oats, or a little bit of extra fruit can help deliver the sugar to your muscles that you need after a workout and aid in your recovery.
Just to reiterate, an anytime meal is a meal that's going to have less carbs in it, and it's going to be a meal you have pretty much anytime throughout the day, whereas a post-workout meal is going to be a little higher in carbs, and you want to have it immediately after your workout. We want the recovery process to start faster with a post-workout meal, so we want to just limit the fat in that shake or in that meal. Fat is going to help delay gastric emptying, and if we delay gastric emptying, we slow down the digestion process. If we're trying to speed it up, it makes sense just to limit the fat or eliminate it from that meal.
Now, some of the other things that we have not talked about yet are some of the other little goodies that you can put into your shake for some added bonus. Something like Barlean's greens, or just regular greens like spinach or, I don't know, a whole head of lettuce. You get a lot of water.
Brandon, turn my head into lettuce.
Adding greens will get you a vegetable into that meal as well. So our third nutrition habit is have vegetables with every meal. Throwing a little bit of greens in there can help achieve that goal. Some other things we might recommend, some kind of extract like vanilla or mint. We also like coffee, a little bit of extra fiber. They make fiber powders. If we're talking about delaying gastric emptying, just giving you a little bit of extra fiber will also make you feel a little bit more full after your shake as well.
So unless you want to eat your protein powder, we recommend adding a liquid to it so you can drink it. And really the easiest things are things like almond milk or cashew milk, or when all else fails, just add water.
So if February is all about surging, having that extra meal or 2 extra meals throughout the day with shakes is a great place to start. First thing you want to do, make sure you find the protein that works for you.
So choose between a plant-based protein or a whey protein. Just see which one vibes better with your stomach. Also make sure it has minimal ingredients and try your best to avoid soy-based proteins.
After that, we're going to find something tasty to put into it. So we always recommend some kind of berry. Your blueberries, your strawberries, a nice berry mix tastes very good.
See what he did there.
But find the berry that works for you and rock on that.
We recommend adding a fat source like coconut oil, a nut butter, avocado, or MCT oil. If it's going to be a post-workout shake, we recommend limiting the fat.
If it's going to be a post-workout shake, choose your starch. Pumpkin, oats, or extra fruit can get you that added sugar you need to recover after your workout.
Next, we just want to see if there's anything else we want to add. So do we want to add greens in it to make sure that we address getting vegetables in that meal? Do we need to add something to just make it more interesting, like coffee, spices, or like a vanilla extract?
And then last but not least, this is a drink, so we have to
drink it.
Thank you. We're going to add some kind of water, or almond milk or cashew milk are also popular choices. Again, just know what works for you and your stomach when you choose it.
So last month you met the head adult at Results Driven, Theresa, and she gave just some insight into one of the main questions she's asked. She always hears the question when people are starting or when people are just trying to reinvest in their fitness, how often should I work out?
Many people at this time of year especially come in and would like to really just be all in and work out 5 days a week. And then we have other people that are new to fitness that might be hesitant and not be sure and aren't sure how often they should work out. Having lived this myself, quite frankly, I know that when I overdid it, I got burned out. So one of the things that worked for me, and one of the things that I tell our clients, is consistency is key. If working out twice a week fits into your schedule and works with your family life, and you can actually do it week after week after week, after a year, think about it, you would have 100 workouts in. The first thing to do is to look at your schedule and to determine how often you can work out. Then the next step is, most importantly, to find a place that will embrace your goals and will help you achieve them.
So the advice Theresa just gave was based on somebody just starting. So if this month you're just diving in for the first time, Pick a number of days per week that you feel you can sustain. It doesn't have to be all in. If you can get in 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is for you, just get started. If you're somebody who's trying to double down or surge towards your goals, really you should think about increasing your frequency. If you're somebody that normally works out 2 days a week, figure out a time block of 4 to 6 weeks that you can add a third day. If you're a 3-day-a-week kind of person, bump it up to 4. Bottom line is, whether you're starting or you're just trying to dive in a little deeper, you should try to work out more than you have been in the recent past.
And that could be movement or exercise. So remember, if you're newer, just getting in 2 or 3 days a week is going to help start moving the needle for you. But if you've been exercising for a while, it's called progressive resistance training, meaning to continue to make progress, you have to change variables so your body has to adapt. So if you are like Ed said, if you're a 3-day-a-week person, bump it up to 4. We just did our Rock Your Jeans challenge, and that was one of the biggest drivers for a lot of people's results, was that they were maybe like one of our good friends, Mike McInerney. Picture. Great guy. He went from coming on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to adding 1 or even 2 extra days for the week, and he was able to drop at least 1 pant size in 6 weeks. So adding that extra frequency does help, and then we're adding some tasty nutrition on top with your protein shakes and eating more frequently. So if you can look at the calendar and see where you can bump up the frequency for a 4 to 6 week block during the year, that's going to help you make some serious progress for your goal. And remember that we're not expecting you to bump up the frequency for every week, 52 weeks a year. It's picking those short stints that you can really get after it and then maintaining your progress until you're ready to surge again.
He mentioned Mike McInerney. He got into a size 32 pair of jeans for the first time since high school. I'm not trying to glaze over that shit. Golf clap. I hope you're clapping at home. Overall theme of this episode is we want to find ways to make it easier to start diving into our nutrition habits. For a lot of people, just starting to add 1 or 2 shakes a day helps check off anywhere from 1 to 3 of the first habits that we want you to address. The other thing is just to make sure you're just moving more frequently with purpose.
On the next episode, we are going to go to the other side of the gamut for our training here at Results Driven, and we're going to dive into team training. If you've heard of metabolic resistance training, this is it. It's going to be a more high-intensity workout than the small group training. Doesn't mean that it's not as effective or fun. It's just a different style that gets people's juices flowing.
I'm excited.
Me too. Team training is really fun. Hope to see you there. Thank you for joining us for the Results Driven Fitness.
¿Cómo están, bitches?
We're happy to have you back in our back space. I was going to say living room.
I don't want to welcome anyone to my backspace. Our whole system is based on first education and then making coleslaw. If you're not sure, just try each one and see which one you feel better when you use it. Why? What is it?
Henceforth.
Moving.
Last week on the Results Driven Fitness Show. Last week on the Results Driven Fitness Show. I'm Mike and I could flip my hair and sandbags.
Oh, I'm Ed. I have no hair, but I'm a nerd. And I have like fitness and stuff.